And ever wonder why some movies stick with you long after the credits roll? Horror, at its best, isn't just about jump scares. It's about exploring our deepest fears and anxieties. These aren't just films to watch on a dark and stormy night. They're cinematic experiences that will linger in your mind, prompting reflection and maybe even a second look under the bed. You know, let's delve into 15 essential horror movies everyone should experience at least once. Horror has evolved dramatically over the decades, from silent expressionism to uh, modern psychological thrillers that are each era has left its mark, influencing filmmakers and reshaping audience expectations. These films aren't just a history lesson in scares, they're a master class in storytelling, atmosphere, and the power of suggestion. Robert Eggers isn't about cheap thrills. It's a slow burn descent into paranoia and religious extremism. Um, and Set in 17th century New England, it creates a chilling atmosphere of isolation and dread, grounded in historical authenticity. The horror isn't what jumps out at you, but what creeps into your mind. Uh, the film expertly uses silence, shadows, and natural sound to amplify the creeping sense of doom. It's a haunting exploration of faith, guilt, and liberation, culminating in a final act that feels disturbingly inevitable. It's a truly important film for the 21st century. Uh, Few films have had the cultural impact of 1973. William Friedkin's masterpiece treats demonic possession with a clinical seriousness, grounding its supernatural elements in medical realism and emotional authenticity. This approach makes the terrifying moments hit far harder. Uh, um, at its core, it's about faith and sacrifice. And the dual journeys of Reagan's mother and the two priests uh, elevate the story beyond shock value, turning it into a deeply human drama. Um, Even decades later, its imagery and performances remain profoundly unsettling. Seamlessly blends science fiction and horror into a terrifying experience. It was, and Ridley Scott transforms the vastness of space into a claustrophobic nightmare where isolation becomes the ultimate vulnerability, and it can the slow reveal of the xenomorph allows dread to build organically experiences. The film's production design and soundscape are integral to its horror. Uh, from the biomechanical terror of HR, uh, Giger's creature, to the cold industrial corridors of the Nostromo, every element contributes to a sense of inescapable menace. Uh, Sigourney Weaver's Ripley redefined the genre's protagonist, uh, offering resilience without sacrificing realism. Uh, is a rare horror comedy that fully respects both halves of its genre identity and Edgar Wright's film lovingly parodies zombie tropes while delivering genuine emotional stakes and surprisingly effective scares. Um, it's not just a spoof; it's a rom com with zombies. Um, the film explores uh, themes of stagnation, friendship, and growing up through the lens of a zombie apocalypse. Sean's journey from passive complacency to active responsibility mirrors the chaos unfolding around him. Uh, it demonstrates that horror can be clever, self aware, and emotionally resonant all at once. 1935 is a landmark sequel that surpasses its predecessor in ambition and thematic depth. James Whale infuses the film with gothic spectacle while embracing dark humor and tragic romanticism. Um, the result is a horror movie that feels remarkably modern. At its heart, it's about loneliness and the desire for companionship. Um, the monster's longing is portrayed with heartbreaking sincerity, transforming him from a figure of fear into one of empathy. Um, the bride herself becomes a symbol of cruel inevitability. Um, uh, Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 shattered expectations and permanently altered horror storytelling uh, by killing its apparent protagonist early on. The film destabilizes the audience and creates a lingering sense of unease. Nothing feels safe once the rules are broken. Uh, the infamous shower scene remains a masterclass in editing, sound, and implication choice to Hitchcock proves that suggestion can be more horrifying than explicit violence. It delves into themes of identity repression and voyeurism, spawning the slasher boom. 1999 revolutionized horror by popularizing the found footage format. Um, its low budget aesthetic and improvised performances created an unsettling sense of realism. And um, the marketing campaign blurred fiction and reality in groundbreaking ways. Rather than showing its eponymous witch, the film relies on suggestion, sound, and mounting panic. Um, uh, the character's fear becomes palpable, even contagious. It proves that imagination is horror's most powerful tool, and its terrifying climax is a masterclass in tension and minimalism. Um, George A. Romero's reshaped horror with its bleak tone and social commentary. Um, the film introduced modern zombie mythology while presenting terrifying a terrifying vision of societal collapse. Uh, um, it wasn't just about monsters. It was about the monsters within ourselves. Um, uh, the film's shocking ending cemented its reputation as a genre classic. It remains essential viewing for its influence, its fearlessness, and its demonstration of how horror can reflect uncomfortable social truths. Is one of the earliest and most influential horror films ever made. Uh, its expressionist style uses warped sets and exaggerated shadows to externalize psychological terror. It's a haunting and tragic tale uh, told through a staggeringly innovative design. Uh, the film's themes of control and unreliable perception were groundbreaking for the time. It invites viewers to question reality itself, creating unease that feels remarkably contemporary, and it's essential viewing for all cinema fans, horror or not. And Stanley Kubrick's in 1980 is a hypnotic descent into isolation and madness, set almost entirely within the Overlook Hotel. The film uses symmetry, long tracking shots, and eerie silence to create constant unease. Every frame is deliberately unsettling. Jack Nicholson's performance anchors the escalating dread, while Shelley Duvall conveys unparalleled raw vulnerability. It rewards repeat viewings uh, with layers of symbolism and unanswered questions. Um, um, it proves that horror can be high art. So there you have it. 15 films that will haunt your dreams, challenge your perceptions, and remind you why horror is such a powerful and enduring genre. And speaking of enduring, did you know that the original script for The Exorcist was only 22 pages long? Talk about concise terror. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.